All right, welcome back. Now, it's the time for us to get into our community development segment where we discuss challenges, issues, throw light on things that are happening in various communities around the country. Sometimes they are geographical locations, sometimes they are a specific group of people that we are concerned with. Today, we're going to Kumasi. There's an eviction that has taken place at Akwatialine. There's a wood market there. We have a report brought to you by our colleague, Edward Opomafu, who happens to be the bureau chief for the Middle Belt for Citi TV and Citi FM. The traders are accusing authorities of inflicting hardship on them, injuries and so on and so forth. Let's take a look at this report. When we come back, we'll delve further into some conversations.
Umar Saidu, who nearly passed out, narrates to Citi News how security operatives deployed to the area as part of plans to redevelop the Akwatialine Wood Market enclave allegedly brutalized him, as they accused him of being among the persons opposing the project.
Ana me wura fie bi wa ha se te me gina ho na me ba ne sa frem na me se Latif anya abotre ye ho nom no omo ba betu ye ho fo te me ti se omo tututu ho ho no ana me ba se da and e sa dia me ye den jai me se dis kan ma me sa nko fie nti me ne me ba ne gina phone so kasa ana me wo fie ni inside o te me ho ana ba ko no se ai we no sa Akwatialine life no we o ka ho mu gina mbara ana me se ma ye den nti e no ana se omo twi me efiri fie no hono ne pie to o metwi me fie na ba ko didua e bom ha te mo mede me be pie wo ka kwan no ana o mede dua bom ti no ma bom ato ka kwan ne fefinti sa tam no kora no o meti me sa tam kwa me nim de de e ko so bio sa se be ba no o da tu gina phone so o bo ye de o mo me de gira se ba he de bo ni be da be ye kwa mu na bo la guard phone no e police phone no ana ai anti-robbers no mo no mo bu me sa no.
Persons, primarily woodworkers who ply their trade at Akwatialine Wood Market enclave, tell Citi News they have operated in the area for more than 5 decades. They have described the decision by authorities to redevelop the area as one that is in bad taste. They fear they will be evicted and will not have anywhere to engage in their usual activities, which will negatively affect their source of livelihood. Mohammed Umar, who is the secretary of the Akwatialine Wood Sellers Association, says they are resisting the move by authorities to redevelop the area because it is not in their best interest. He says they want government to provide a suitable place for them to be relocated to before the project begins.
So when I came, I asked my people what is going on, and they showed me the pistol, the bullet, and what happened. They beated people. You saw the boy, his head, his hand, everywhere.
Which people actually beat them?
The anti-robbers and the police, because I wasn't there at the time. What they told me is the anti-robbers and the police and the langas. You see, the MCE called us. That was last year. We went meeting uncountable that they want to develop here. And we told him we will not say they will not develop the country, but they should show us where are we to. Where are we going? They should show us the place to vacate. But you can't take us. They should show us and do the same thing they did it to the Sokobine. We went there first, second, third, until fourth time. I think almost 10 times, uncountable. The last meeting, the man told us that the contractor will come to site. And we told him, no, leave him until after Ramadan. Then we started the negotiation. He said, no, they will do it.
Some other traders who are worried about the development have been speaking to Citi News.
Yedidi mpo yenyina yenya ne firi ha ntito omutu ya ha no omoma ya dabre se yenko ena nkola nso gusu didi ye gusu tu school fees nto omutu ya ha ebe ha adwene ena ye srempenyi fo se nko omundum ye na nka tututu no ompe bebi maya ansa ombetu ye kura ompe bebi maya ansa omatu ye
meton chine ya me maame no madwuma de dada ya tena abru 60 years ya wo ya papers nyina
Eti anchina egu dua ne so egu baabi o ma akyekere no. E bro 1,000 bucks. Minim baabi a mede ne ma ne beko. Eti motimi ntu ye ya bra. Mama ya baabi ntena. Efisa ha ye twa railways, ye twa KMA, ya wo ya papers, ya wo permit, ya wo bi ya allocation, ya wo ya site plan. Ana omo de amaye. Ana ye te ha se ye nte ya kwa. Eti se sani amba 1,000 na egu ya no. Enchine 1,000. Ayi fa na mede ko. Mini baabi a mede beko. Mini baabi a mede beko ntimi sra aban. Ene wo mo peso asambe man no. Ene contractor na wo mo so ene MC no wo mo se wo bu tu ye no. So wo mu tu ye. Na so wo mo be di nchene dia. So wo mo be di nchene wa asase so dia. Ene nchene na go abro 1,000 eya be 4 billion. Ene go no. O mo message na wo mo ntungu. Omo tuni amandingu no mo mesi wo mo stores no mo han efisa ye de ye nim se sa ban na ye kura obema ye baabi obeche ye baabi a ye nkotena monka bibia acha monchire baabi a ye ntena eno ne sa no pai masa bonkofo.
The municipal chief executive for Asokore Mampong, Kennedy Kankam, is however allaying fears of the wood sellers and other traders, insisting that the people are not being necessarily evicted from the area. He says the redevelopment is being done in phases and no worker will be asked to move away but will still be allowed to operate within the area while construction works go on at the other parts.
They are just misunderstanding me. The fact of the matter is that we are not evicting anybody, but we are just rearranging the place so that we will start the project and we'll be shifting them, doing them phases from one phase to another phase. So what we are all trying to do is that we don't want a situation whereby we will finish the project and the project will tend to be a white elephant like the Asawase market as I'm talking to you now. Asawase market, we have about 184 stores there that are vacant. We even tried as much as possible to bring the former occupants, those who were occupying the place, to come back and occupy those shares. But they are adamant, they are refusing to come. So we don't want to repeat the same mistake that we repeated at Asawase market, where we relocated them to the Kontomponia ferry, the young market at Kontomponia ferry. You know, we moved the people from Kejitia, the stores, the market was constructed, then we shifted them in there. Then the extra space that was created, we gave it to those at the central market. Then the space at the central market was created for the new project to also begin. And now we can all attest to the fact that the project is going on very well. So it's the same model that we are doing at the Bombay Street project or the Akwatialine that we are talking about. Nobody is evicting anybody. All what we are trying to do is that let us rearrange the place. Let us make good use of the empty spaces that we find at the place. Then we will start implementing the phases or the phase of the project. That is all. I will never ever allow anybody to move them out of the place without them being able to continue their businesses and other things. That one is out of the equation. We'll make sure that everybody can continue his activity. But the fact of the matter is that when the project is happening like that, you may not feel comfortable like the way you were earlier. Definitely, because that has been push and pull and other things, there will be some things that will make you very uncomfortable. But we should not all bear in it. That is how the situation is calling for. And everybody is going to remain there. The shops are going to be allocated to those who are there.
He says he's so far not aware of the alleged assault on some persons, which he has described as unfortunate.
Well, it is quite unfortunate. I haven't gotten the briefing from my security couples because, you know, today we are having regional executive council meeting. All municipal chief executive, district chief executive, metropolitan chief executives are members of the regional executive council. We are going to discuss about Komewu and some other party issues. So I have not been in the office. So the moment I get to the office, I know I'm going to be briefed. But if SXS has happened, then I think it's unfortunate. I'll talk to the security agencies for us to see how best we can deal with the issue.
The affected persons say they have been plying their trade here for many years. And as a result, evicting them will affect them badly. And so they want government to find a way of addressing this issue amicably.
All right, so that is the report that we have there for you, brought to us by a colleague, Edward Opomafo. We'll get him on the line shortly and have a conversation with him about what's going on there. So, Frema, I'm hearing the conversations from the different people in the report here, and I sort of, okay, so let's break it down. There are different aspects to this. I think the violence unleashed on, we saw injuries. I don't know what the genesis of that was, and they said that it was the anti-robbery squad, the police, and the land guards who, inflicted the wounds on them and so on. But those are accusations that are being made. We don't know exactly why it was necessary for that to happen. So that's one side of it, and I don't know exactly what. Of course, when we get Edward on the line, we'll find out a bit more details. I don't know what you think of that aspect.
Well, I think what I deduce from this whole thing is communication has not gone on well.
Okay.
Because, one, if the people are not supposed to move from their
present location,
what is the problem here?
Yeah.
Okay. If they have to occupy empty sheds now, do we have enough that everyone will get a place to be? Now, if they have to be in their shops, what are the arrangements? What is going to happen? Okay. If the police came there, what were they supposed to come there and do? So I think that per what the MC Mr. Kankan is saying and what the traders are saying, there's some kind of missing link, because it looks like then why the beating? And why do the people think they have to move out of their shops? Who told them that? Because per what the MC is saying, that is not a communication. So where did they get that information from that we have to move, they have to show us where to be? Because per what the MC is saying, it's nothing close to that.
It's actually the opposite of what they're thinking.
Exactly.
Because we've had an experience before.
So we don't even want people to move.
We don't want people to even move away, right? And so, well, Edward is joining us this morning on Zoom. Edward, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, Dave.
So, give us a little bit of clarity on what's happening, because the report that you brought us, it seems that the traders seem to feel that they are being evicted from their current location, whereas from the MCE's response, it seems as though that's not necessarily the case. What's happening?
So this area is the Wood Market enclave that's within Akwatialine, and it's a popular area within this whole area. And so a lot of people engage in various activities, and they're basically into wood. It has to do with dealing with woods in various forms. And the people say that they have worked here for even their descendants, that's the people ahead of them, the generations before them used to work here. So they claim that they have been here for over 5 decades, and that's what they've been doing with their lives. And so they do it, their sons and daughters will come and then continue from there. So that has been it. But just some months ago, the authorities at the Ascoromampo Municipal Assembly began engaging them on a number of issues about how they want to redevelop this area. But the main issue has to do with what the people are really going to do next. And some of them, it appears it has not been well communicated to them, so they don't know what they are going to do, feel they'll be out of jobs. And some of them also feel that once they are asked to move back and this project is completed, they may not even be given access to come here and operate. And so that has been a major concern of these persons who have been operating here, who have been speaking to their leadership and saying that although there have been a number of engagements, there is no clarity with respect to how things are going to be. And just like the MCE also indicated, it says that indeed there's a redevelopment project they're going to have them in phases, and so it's not necessarily evicting the people. But there are a lot of concerns that these persons who have been operating here are saying they feel that there's no trust between them and the authorities, and so eventually they'll be asked to move back. They'll feel very uncomfortable because of the project, and they will be forced to abandon their places. And so it's an indirect way of sacking them, just that they don't want to put it to them. That is the perception of some of the persons who have been operating here. So we have some of them where we're trying to engage them to really find out that's from the latest engagement by those in authority, if they are okay now and what concerns they have. And so tell us, how do you feel about everything going on?
I feel very bad and very sad because how we and the municipal assembly has been come engagement, I have not yet, we haven't get it clear with them because we couldn't say we will not let them read before fear. But how the situation is moving, the first time we meet with him, he said, yeah, trying to come to report to yet. And we said, no problem. But where are we going? Where are you going to locate us before developing here? And then he even let them come and take measure and then read the registration for everybody. So the day he served us with the letter to come and meet him.
You mean the MC?
Yes. So we thought that he wanted to locate and get a land. So this is the place that I'm going to locate you people. So after then we come back. And through our discussion with the MC, he told us that we shouldn't fear because we even tell him that we see a lot of places like Kumasi and Kigitia, before they really develop there, new faces have been entered there. And he said we shouldn't worry. Even if we haven't trusted him, we will bring lawyers for us to make paperwork and sign. Nothing has been done with that. So immediately the day that he served us with a letter, we went there and then he said that the contractor said that as now he shouldn't bother himself to get a place to locate her before developing here. They will push everybody. So maybe as we are here, they'll push you to this person and they'll push you to this person and then they'll get the land where they needed to develop. And they'll say it will not work.
Why is that not going to work? I engaged him and he was telling me that, well, there's a strategy. They'll just push you back and then they'll start in phases. And so as we speak, they are starting from the other end.
Yeah.
And so as they're just doing, the people will be pushed here. Why are you not comfortable with this arrangement?
Not that, because it will not work. How I said that it will not work like that, because they are going to fence them. And after that, if they are going to fence, they are not going to push those people back to this place. They are going to push them back. So assume if they fence here and they push you back, who is going to come and buy your items?
And so for you, it has to do with the fact that your clients will not even locate you easily.
Yes. Because if only they would have get us a place to locate it for a temporary, then developing here, and then we'll make everything properly with paperwork, and then we'll sign with everything with lawyers. Because in MC, it will be a time where they will even say, oh, stop work, or maybe someone will come and replace it without any paperwork. How are we going to contact? How are we going to discuss with that, my brother? And then we thought the MC that, but still, he hasn't understood us.
But, so let's get this clear.
Yeah.
What do you think about this project? Do you feel this area has to be redeveloped?
Oh, every place like to be developed. But how the MC is engaging with us is not properly.
And so for him, he's saying that it's not necessarily about taking you to a different place.
Okay.
And that is what you have a problem with.
Because that is why we have the problem with the MC. I've never seen certain projects like this. Whilst they will be working and you two are there selling, I've never been seen that in my life before.
That's because he says that it is a way of just reducing the inconvenience that you face. And so you still be within the area.
It will not work, my brother. It will not work. Honest with you, it will not work. So we are telling him to locate us a new temporary place. After they finish there, they will bring those who went for the temporary back and they vacate another phase 2. That one, it will work. It will work.
And so on Friday, for instance, some of your people here were beaten. That allegedly, they were allegedly beaten by some police officers. Some were even arrested.
Yes.
Yeah. So it means some of your people are still resisting. So what's the way forward? Are you going to continue resisting, or what's your next line of action?
And for that one, that we on that day, on the Friday, they arrested some of our people, but on that Friday they released them, and those who were injured, we sent them to hospital. And as of now, everybody is back home now. But as of now, we are trying to engage with the MC, even today, So we discussed on it to see where, and then they will bring the dialogue arrangement with him. We and then police commander and then airport police commander is going to meet with him.
So it appears the MC and the other relevant authorities are certain that indeed they are not going to allow your people, they are not going to relocate to a different area and want you to still be here, but to push backwards.
That is the main problem with we and the MC.
And so for you, if that is not
because
done, you are not going to agree?
We haven't said we will not allow them to resolve here. One problem is that because executives always meet with the MC, and then immediately they are discussing, he will change the different piece again. Because the time that he met with the executive, he said they should come and tell the people that they will develop here. After that, they give us a temporary. Then if they finish everything, then we're back again. Immediately we went back to them because they came and took the measure and registered everybody with their statistics. So immediately they called us. They even changed different agenda again. Said that they will not get our place to go for temporary. They will really push us and develop. It will not work, my brother. So we are telling the MC that they should try and get us a temporary and develop that place. Then vacating us to that place. And then take their land and develop. After that, we'll be back.
All right, thank you very much.
That is why they do Kejia. Or with that the Kejia project, where they pushing them and get the land and develop Kejia. No, they send some people to Red Scroll, they send some people to other places. He can do for that one. None of them having come back to Kejia.
Right, thank you very much. What's your name?
My name is Mohammed Bashar Badin Sulu.
Right, thank you very much. So, Frima and David, that's the concern of the people. They are insisting that for them, they have to be relocated. That's to a temporal place before
Eddie,
they will allow this project to go ahead.
Yes, Eddie, do we know the nature of development that's going to happen there?
So what the MCA indicated to me on Friday was that this entire area, that's according to him, it has a little over 100 shops at the moment, but they are trying to redevelop the area to have over 300 shops. And with these 300 shops too, they are going to have modern structures. And so it will actually also help develop this entire area. And so they are basically shops that are going to be then constructed here. So it will be a redevelopment which has to do with shops for the persons who operate within this area.
Now, if the traders are supposed to be there, I mean, as the MC says, that they don't necessarily have to move out, how will this impede, the progress of work, i.e. Building of shops? Because the people are there. I understood him that they are going to be in phases. I mean, he will break things down. So we'll have maybe phase one, we'll look at this area. Where will the people be? So if there are construction works going on, how do the traders also stay in their shops to work? How easy will that be for customers to, even access the shops to come in? Are we able to get answers to these?
So from my conversation with the MCA, he is saying that based on what the contractors are telling him, it is very feasible for them to have a kind of system where they will be operating, that the contractors will be working, and the traders, the number of traders who are here, although they will be pushed back, there's a way that they will still be able to operate, and so it won't affect, although he stressed that there will be some kind of inconvenience, all right, but they can still engage in their activities. And this is where the issue lies. The persons who operate here are also saying that, well, for them, once you push them back, even access to their various shops will be a problem. People locating where they are will also be a major issue. And so they feel that they may lose their clients that's within the period that this construction is supposed to take place. For the MCE, he says that this whole project will take about 1 month, 1 year and 6 months. So that's the period that they have estimated. And so they hope that they'll finish within that period. But the people here are still insisting. But one I spoke to earlier is saying that there's another concern that they would like to raise. So we'll just get to him briefly to look at that.
So you said you spoke to the MC, and he said there are 100 shops here.
Over 100.
Over 100. It's a lie. The statistics with the MC, they came here and statistics everything. Shop here is 660 something people here. Workers even here 2,700 and something workers in this timber market. So there's not any place. Everywhere is occupied. Everywhere is occupied. And then that is why we're telling the MC that to what? To push their agenda. It did not work, my brother. So we're appealing with him. He should get us some place. A place to a temporary, and then come and develop how it is or how they want it to be developed. But to push, it will not work, my brother.
All right, thank you.
Not as we are telling, it is the MC who led the statistics from the municipal.
And so you are saying you have different figures.
That is it. So it's even 600 and something, not 100
All right,
shops.
we'll do our independent investigation to find out that.
Eddie, before he goes, please find out from him what happened when the police came in. What was their message? What really were they coming there?
All right, so come back and let's engage you further. Yeah, hello, Prema. I'd like to get what you said again.
So I want you to find out from him, when the police came, what was the message? You know, what were they supposed to do? Why did the police come there?
Hello?
Yes, Eddie, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Right. Now, I want to find out what the message of the police was when they got there. You know, why did they come there? Was it to get them out of the area? What exactly was the police supposed to do?
Okay, so for the police, what we've gathered so far is that they are basically around to ensure that there's no chaos. But it appears at a point there was some kind of misunderstanding between some of the traders here and the police officers. And so, in fact, we saw some persons who had sustained injuries, and there were some other persons who were also raising a number of concerns that they have been assaulted in various forms. And so, but when we even engaged some of the police officers, in fact, the one leading the team, he was insisting that that was not as a result of the members who came. They said that
but Eddie, what I want to know is, why was it necessary for the police to go there in the first place? What were they going to do there?
Yeah, so I posed this question to the MC, and he actually told me that it was basically to ensure that the scam, since they are starting it, and just behind me, they have barricaded this area. So there's an area that they have actually barricaded, and they are not allowing some of the traders to cross to that portion. And so some of the traders were trying to resist, and because of that, they brought in the police to maintain calm. But in the process, in fact, the one we're seeing on the screen is one of the persons who actually told us that he was beaten. He said that he was not even making an attempt to even come here to work, but he was just passing by, and someone pointed at him that he is one of the persons opposing the project. And so he said that according to him, some police officers and some land guards pounced on him, and he was injured in the process. And as we were around at the time, he was even taken to the hospital. And so that's the situation. But let me engage him briefly on what has the police been telling you within this period that the police have been here? What have they been telling you?
Those who were here for operation that project, we have not get to engage with them. But immediately we went to the MC, the last meeting that we engaged with the MC, how he told us were not sound properly. So we went to the Zongo police, we are under Zongo here, and then report the case to the Zongo police station commander. So, and then he said that he would talk with the MC. So we were allowing that we will meet with the MC, with the commander, with Zongo commander. We haven't heard anything. Immediately on that Friday, early in the dawn, someone are calling us that, where are you? They are fencing your market. So immediately we came, it was really true. So and then they bring the anti-robbers, land guard, police, and which is not properly. Because it's you, the MC, who is going to align everything properly. We, the traders, and you to come engage and then have correctly how you want the development to come. But we're still on negotiation, we haven't finished. And then you are even locating the contractor on site. As now you said, if you finish, you let everybody come back with where he's working. As now, my brother, we couldn't know how much store would cost after they finish development. We haven't known. We haven't known the numbers of stores that they're going to rebuild here. We haven't known the number of shops that they're going to build here. We are on self-discussing. We haven't finished. And then you told us that we shouldn't fear. We should bring lawyers, our lawyers, for us to sign properly agreement. We haven't done yet. But immediately on that Friday, he let the contractor come to the site to fence. And then even us now, he were even trying to tell us that he will let us push. Let the contractor come, sit with us, and explain things to us. This is how I wanted to make the project. Whether it will help us, we'll tell you. It will not, we'll tell you. But we haven't done that. Immediately on that Friday morning, we are here. We immediately, some of our police who are sleeping here, call us. Immediately we came, it is really true. And then they have been taken down as we are in war.
But where were you when the gunshots were fired?
For me, I was in the house because this time is a Ramadan time. Immediately when you pray in the night up in the morning, you have the sleep spot. So I was sleeping while someone calling me. Immediately I came. You even said we're in a war zone. Gunshot. Not even.
Hi, Eddie.
They were shooting.
Yeah, hello,
Eddie. So the area with the hoarding, okay, the place that has been how do I break it down? Yeah, that has been boarded, you know, with a hoarding just to for construction works to begin. Is this affecting anybody's shop? Is that a clear place? Area, no shops, so development can go on? Or this probably is part of phase one where we have shops there, but we have to start the project, which probably started the whole chaos.
So, Frema, behind me, that portion, and when we move to this part, to the other parts here, that's where there's a fence indicating that the project is going to start at that portion.
Yes, what is there? The area that has been fenced, what is there? Are they people's shops? What exactly is in that space?
For now, what we have been told is that the persons who operate around that area have been asked to hold on with the activities because their projects are going to start, as the project is going to start from their portion. And so they are supposed to engage the authorities on where exactly they will be moved to. And that is where they are having that kind of misunderstanding with those in authority. They are telling those in authority that, well, they don't even agree, and so they won't even accept to be moved to the other side. But where we are at the moment, at the kind of activities and even the fencing, it has not gotten to this portion in particular. But with the areas, the people we spoke to on Friday, some of them told us that, well, for their areas, they have actually started fencing, there's a barricade, and so they have been asked that they shouldn't operate around that specific area, and they are yet to move them. And still, some of them are not really agreeing. They are saying that they won't agree, and the leadership keeps engaging the municipal assembly on the next step.
Right. Thank you very much, Eddie.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, you know, Frema, I must say that I have encountered this kind of development before. When I was working, privately as a photographer, hired by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. There was a project that they were doing called the Ghana Urban Management Pilot Program, where there were 4 cities I visited, and because those were the projects that they had started and they had completed them. So I saw finished projects, right? I went to Ho and filmed the one there at the Ho Market. There was also an abattoir they had done a little bit away from the Ho Market. Then there was in the Sekedi Takrade municipal area, there was also, it was a civic center, that's what they call the civic center. Then there was Tafo, Old Tafo.
In
Kumasi.
Kumasi,
yes,
okay.
Yes. And then there was Tamale. Okay. Now, Tamale, Tafo, and Ho, the markets existed already. The idea was the people have naturally, gravitated towards this location. nobody forced them, nobody created it, nobody manufactured this market. It's naturally developed, right? And so the idea was, instead of creating a new space somewhere else, why don't we figure out a way of building whilst they're here, right? And so they did it. They built, especially the whole one was, for me, was the one that blew my mind. Because I was talking to the traders. How did you manage this? So they created sheds and other things for them, and they started building around them and completed, I don't know, maybe like 500 shops, you know, right where the market was, around the sellers. And at the point when I went into film and photograph, they were just about to commission and then hand over the markets to the
Right, so
traders.
we'll come back and get more on that. But we've been joined by the MCE, Asokore Mampo, the Honorable Kennedy Kankam. Thank you very much for your time, Honorable.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Honorable, with we've heard your explanation with Bureau Chief Edward and the concerns that the traders are also raising. There seems to be some kind of misunderstanding with exactly what the project is going to be. And so the people think that this is a subtle way to push them out of the market, whilst you say that they can still operate their businesses while development works go on. What exactly is the concept of the development? How can they stay? Because they are watching you, they want better understanding. They are not getting this. What is the nature of the project? And if they have to be at their shops to sell, how feasible is that going to be?
Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to explain this into the general public, but also the good people of Mr. Corey Mampong and Akwatialine, to be precise, and the Bombay Street Wood Market. Let me put this in my record before I proceed with your question. One, the land that we are redeveloping is not entirely for the government of Ghana. Most of the land, about 98% of the land there, belongs to private individuals. It has been rezoned way back before the assembly was even created. As I'm talking to you now, that is the transport union, owns majority of the land. They have leased from the Menshia Parish or from the Asantinians Land Secretariat. They also have all the relevant documents that is very necessary for them to possess that land. But the land share boundary with the railway reservation. So I just want us to put this thing down for everybody to know where the whole thing is going before we proceed with this conversation. The project has been planned in such a way that we don't want to check anybody from the place. We are trying as much as possible to work around it, like the way we are working around the 400-bed hostel. That is also taking place on the same stretch of land. You know, the hotels within Asokore Mampong that is being built for people who have been migrating from different parts of the country. It is undergoing that as I'm talking to you now. As I'm talking to you now, the 400-bed hostel is under construction. It's almost at the lintel level. The process that we applied to rearrange the place for us to get the land to initiate the project. That project, it was Kaya project, but I don't feel so comfortable using that name. That is why I'm trying to play around the name of the project. So on the same stretch of land, that project is being undertaken. So the same method that we use is the same method that we are applying for the redevelopment of the face of this project. As it stands now, we have started the whole project from a place where there is abandoned sanitary area. That place does not have a lot of shelter. So from there, after they finish that phase, the construction of that phase, we will move the next group of people from their land. Then we occupy the completed part of it. And then we continue till the whole project is implemented. So please, the entire stretch of the land, I think the government owns about 1 to 3% of it. The remaining land belongs to individuals. The individuals have an agreement and they sign their own, adopt their own arrangement with the contractor who is implementing the project. The assembly, that is the MC, together with all the movements or stakeholders of the assembly, all the 22 assembly members of the assembly, the plan was given to them. They studied it, they came out with their input. Those who are occupying the land, or the current occupant of the land, we also had a meeting with them on so many occasions. I've engaged them for the last 7 months. And everything is in order until maybe when the project was about to start. That is where the issues came up. I learned there was an effort. That one, we apologize for that. But I want everybody to cooperate with us in order for us to be able to implement the project.
Honorable, the place with the hoarding, the place that has been fenced, where the project is supposed to start from, you've mentioned that it's an abandoned area. Do we have traders, maybe a few of them, plying their trade from this area? This development, i.e. getting the place fenced and all that, generated some kind of confusion yesterday. This will lead to police coming in to maintain calm.
That was 3 days. That was 3 days ago. On Friday. That was Friday.
Do we have so some of the this morning we've spoken to a trader who says that some people plied their trade from that area where the fencing has been done, and they wanted access to this area to just ply their trade, but they were denied, and this is what generated the confusion. Are you able to tell us that truly there's nobody plying their business from this area, or the people who work in this space have been told not to come there because the project is just about beginning, and so they've been given another space where they can do their business?
Yes, madam, if you look at it, if you know Akwatialine very well, there is no land within Akwatialine that is live pedal. Almost every land within the Akwatialine municipal is being occupied, including government lands, reservations that have been reserved for future projects. It's being occupied by, let me put it into inverted commas, it's being occupied by squatters. But if you look at the entire thread I'm talking about, if you know the place very well,
I don't know the place very well.
The railway reservation shares boundaries with the land that has been linked to the owners of the land as I'm talking to you now. It shares boundaries with the railway reservation. So that is the reason why the last time when your people came, I said that we are not relocating anybody, but we are trying to rearrange the place so that we will be able to develop the place. That is all what we are trying to do now. So where they are, we have a land adjacent to the land where the place that has been ordered. So all what we are supposed to do, they need to collaborate with the contractor. Then the contractor will help them push those things out of the ordered area to where we have empty spaces. Then at the end of the day, they can go on to ply their trade. That's all what we are trying to do. That is why I have engaged them for the past 7 months.
So why did the police go there on Friday? What really were they supposed to go and do?
Please can you come up again? I didn't hear that.
No, I was asking what the police went there on Friday to do. I mean, per your intelligence you've gathered, why did the police have to go there?
Yeah, I think because of the situation on the ground. Because before we started the Ramadan, I invited the leadership of the police to my office, and I asked them to go there with the contractor and see how best they can rearrange the place in order for them to be able to continue with their trade, then the contractor who is going to redevelop the place will get a chance to do the redevelopment for the good people of Askorima, Pongoma, Champion Dana. So when I called them about 2 weeks to the Ramadan, they didn't show up. As of now, they didn't even come at all. So the contractor, together with the landowners, decided to go there and tell them how they can rearrange the place using the holding as the boundaries of the place that they will need for the redevelopment. And then when they went there, the police wasn't around until the people started demolishing what the contractor started. That is where the contractor called in the police for protection and also reinforcement.
Now, Honorable, let's assume that calm heads prevail and your project can proceed. How long do you expect this project to go on for?
Please can you come up again?
No, I'm saying that let's assume that calm heads prevail. You're able to amicably settle the traders, and the project can continue in peace. How long would you estimate that the project will last for?
What we have agreed on in our document is we need about 1 year, 6 months.
Okay,
that is 1.5 years.
Okay.
And everything will be completed because it is made up of a car park,
okay,
to augment the parking of the KGCR and the central market. Okay. We have the district and we have other things there. So it's a whole complex made up of two different activities that we are trying to put together.
Okay, so you said there's a car park. Is there a shopping complex?
No, I thought we shops in front of the car park.
Okay.
Fourth station, the fourth one, at the union is going to have their bus terminal within the structure.
Okay.
Then there are remaining places to use for shops. We have some restaurants and other things. For the sleeping area, we have common fund has already started. The hostels, 400 bed hotels.
Okay.
That will be using for the sleeping area for travelers who may stay there for some time, or maybe a traveler who may need to stay there overnight or before they can continue their journey to their destination. That one is there. Then we have a place for the wood sellers. That is part of the project that is going to take place. We have a mosque in it, and we have a lot of other things at the board.
All right. All right, Honorable, thank you very much for speaking to us this
Can I make a point here?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, the last time your TV or your radio station ran a documentary in the Subi River there, where they were dumping a lot of refuse in the river. I think that led to the redevelopment of the place. You know, people, the tricycle people have been taking refuse down from one household to another household.
Yeah.
On their cycle is full. Instead of them to send it to the landfill in Kumasi, sometimes they maneuver their way through the unplanned area, move to the banks of the river, and when it rains or when they see that nobody is working there, then they will ship their whole thing into the river.
Okay.
So when the water carry those refuse, they come and get choked at the main area, the main road. Yeah. Where most of the time I can say that it's a principal street. That means the principal street is the street that leads to the Bentia Palace. So there was the whole lot of about people were not taking good care of the place. So when we dredged the first time, dredged the second time, and dredged the time, and saw that the refuse is still coming, we initiated an investigation into it, and we later realized that almost all the refuse that is generated at that area comes from that unplanned place. So the assembly decided that let us find a way of stopping those things from happening. That leads to the redevelopment. So if you redevelop the place very well, I think all those things, illegal things that is happening within that enclave will be okay, and the lives and properties too will be protected there. If I tell you the kind of things that activity that happen within that enclave, you'll be surprised. The illegalities and other crimes that is being committed at that place, my friend, you'll be surprised. I don't want to talk to you about this because if I start talking about it, then I may have I want to accuse in order for me to continue the work. Let your investigators, your undercover investigators, get into that enclave and see the kind of illegalities and the kind of crimes that are being committed within that small area. And you'll be surprised. You come back to me that I should even go there and do a whole lot of things there. So let us investigate it and see how best we can get a good place for the good people of Kumasi, Asokore, Mampong, and Ghana.
All right, Honorable, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We've been speaking with the Honorable Kankam, Kennedy Kankam, who is the MCE of Asokore, Mampong. Is that not where you are from?
No,
okay.
I'm from Efijasi.
Okay.
I went to school in Mampong, not Asokore Mampong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were from Asokore Mampong.
No, I'm not from Asokore Mampong.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just... Yeah.
No, don't think.
Thank you for the correction.
Don't think. Ask.
No, thank you for the correction.
Don't assume. Ask me. Right. Okay. So I think that well, from what Honorable is saying, it really puts the whole thing in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that development will affect people.
Yeah.
You know, but on the other hand, I also understand where the traders are coming from. We've had developmental works started. We were given timelines. It will be done in, let's say, 18 months and all. But we are like 3 years into the whole project.
It still has not been done. You know?
Yeah. So sometimes I think that some of these fears will orchestrate some of these kind of agitations and all that, because, like you said, what even shows that this? What if? What that? You know. And so I think that, well, depending on what has been said, we just need to ensure that once funding has been secured for this project, let's keep to timelines. Because really, as the MCE said, it will affect people. They will not be comfortable. But the thing is, if I'm supposed to hold on for how long? You know? So I think these are very genuine concerns.
From everything that he's saying, yes, the shops will be built, but honestly, from the two sides of the conversation, I don't believe that everybody will get a shop. You know, some people will get shops. Not everybody will get a shop. So I think that, because you see, he's talking about a large part of the space being used for a car park, there'll be a trotro station, you know, and all of that. So there's already a 400-bed hostel being put up, right? So it's a multi-purpose development that's going there, right? So clearly, trading as has been done so far will not exist, you know.
But if we want to grow as a country, if we want to develop, we should be able to regulate some of these things, you know, so that we know that, okay,
I agree with you,
the space can take, let's say, 400 shops. And so we know we have excess of, let's say, 200, okay? Now, where can we also develop and put these people? Because I think that the way we also do some of our things in this country, there's a lot of indiscipline. People just decide that, okay,
allow us to do
tomorrow
whatever we want,
I get up, I want to put a container in front of your house. You know, if you don't say anything, the next day you have 3 more containers. And people would do anything and everything to survive. You know, sometimes it's also not an issue of people trying to create confusion and chaos and indiscipline all over the place. It's an act of survival. People must live, people must eat. And so they are desperate to do anything and everything, you know, just to survive. But they has to be regulated. The fact that you want to eat doesn't mean go and steal. You get it? But if we are able to also keep to timelines, if we are able to now schedule things properly, this is phase 1. Phase 1 will go according to this, and let's do it. Phase 2 is this. Let's do it. You know, we've seen too many projects in this country where there've been a lot of promises, but delivery has been extremely poor. And so people feel that we've seen this before. What shows, you know, and we have too many of such examples. And so anybody and everyone will fight. Because I know that once they say like, get out and you go,
once you
forget
gone,
about it.
You're not coming back,
you get it.
kind of thing.
We've had instances where people will use politics, partisanship to distribute stuff that are supposed to be of national equal distribution. And then it becomes like jobs for the boys, shops for the boys, these people, it goes there. At the end of the day, the original occupants lose out. And so I think these are some of the fears, these are some of the issues that will make people fight back and will challenge anything. Because look, like one woman said, this is where my children eat from. This is where we survive. If we are supposed to move out, then what's going to happen? I think people have genuine fears, but development must also go on. But let's be transparent with staff. Let's be truthful with staff. Let's keep to schedule. And at least I think there'll be some kind of sanity. It will be fraught with resistance and all that. But if we are also able to give ourselves examples,
then
moving on, people will believe whatever
that
it
there are
is.
Actually examples
exactly.
Of this. We've seen this before.
Because now it appears they have heard what the MC
you
has
see
said.
What the man said.
But there are fears because they think that actually this is some kind of elimination tactics that they are trying to do. So they let them dada you small so that you move. And once you make that mistake, but maybe this is not going to be like that.
Maybe.
But because
you see the man
before.
that the man in the yellow t-shirt that
Eddie spoke to.
Yes, Eddie spoke to. He'll say that I've not seen anything like that before. That you are constructing and we are selling at the same time. I've not seen something before. The truth is that he hasn't seen something
exactly.
before.
But it doesn't mean it does not exist.
I have seen it before. I know it's possible. It's doable. You know. So I think that again the communication is important. The PR department of the assembly needs to be more aggressive in terms of allaying the fears of the people. And then, of course, there are those who are very hard-headed and say recalcitrant. We won't budge at all. So those ones too, there'll be a certain response that will come from the assembly to them. But again, as you said, timelines must be kept. Let's be transparent. Let's talk to the people. Let's communicate better. And then, let's make some progress.
Because if you say that a project will be in phases, if truly we are able to, let's say, complete phase 1.
Yeah, on time.
Yeah. The subsequent phases will be very easy because now the people have seen it, you know, that yes, so initially we will have resistance, we have people fight the whole process. But once they understand that, okay, they said we should give them 1 year, people can now occupy these shops. 1 year has come, the shops are ready, people are in the shops. So if you tell them that we are starting phase 2, we are going to be hoarding this area, they understand that they know you will deliver. And I also think that, in trying to restore calm, in trying to make sure that police come in so there's some kind of sanity, we shouldn't create more confusion. Do you get it? There's confusion already going on, and then police come in. We don't have any evidence to say that the injuries that were recorded are from police brutality. These are people talking. I mean, when there's confusion, it can even be between two traders. Let them do it, don't let them do it. Anger comes, people are fighting. So we can't really say that a police officer brutalized somebody and these are accusations from the traders. But all I would want to say in this regard is, if we go in to maintain peace, let's arrest people. Rather than brutalize or beat people, injure people and all that. Arrest them, take them away, let others see that we have taken these people away. Let them go chill, in the coolers for maybe a day or two. They will learn some sense. But I don't think that it is right for a police officer, any security person to, physically assault someone.